White folks came to save the day and beat the shit out of a couple of black folks.
Between 1880 and the beginning of World War II, about 3,000 African American people had their lives ended through systemic racial violence. One of those men was Claude Neal, and it was so bad that they wrote a book about it. Claude Neal was a farmhand in Florida in 1934. There's no known pictures of him, unfortunately. One day, a woman went missing in Florida. Her name was Lola Kennedy. They ended up finding Lola deceased, and they realized that she'd been assaulted in other ways as well. They had some circumstantial evidence to connect Claude Neal to her disappearance, but nothing to really direct him to the actual crime. And they arrested Claude Neal anyway. Major newspapers around that area had picked up the arrest, and a mob formed at the jail. The mob wanted them to bring out Claude Neal, and the sheriff said no. So the mob got bigger. The sheriff decided it wasn't safe anymore. He moved Claude Neal. Anytime they moved Claude Neal, the newspaper would pick it up. The sheriff would move him again, newspaper would pick it up. The crowd got bigger and bigger every time. He even moved Claude Neal to Alabama, and the mob got even bigger. It got to the point in Alabama where the mob got so big that they broke into the jail, and they got him out. And they didn't do what they wanted to do. They brought him back to Florida. When they brought him back to Florida, they castrated him, and they made him eat it. They branded him with hot irons. Then when they finally raised him on a tree, he started to struggle. So then they lowered him and removed his fingers from his body so that he couldn't take the rope from around his neck anymore. And as soon as they thought his life was over, they brought him down, woke him up, and did it again. And they did it over and over again. People in the mob didn't even know why they were doing this. And people had to remind them that, hey, there's a family with a dead daughter that's a part of this as well. And at that time, Claude Neal was gone. So they had to take his body to the people's house, and they just left him there. Then people started handing out sharp sticks to children, and they encouraged them to do some stuff. And there's more stuff that happened, but those were the highlights. But there's nothing left of this man once they were done. The mob eventually went into the African American town next door and started burning people's homes. It got to the point where people got so bored that the ending of Claude Neal's life didn't take longer, that they went to the jail and started pulling other African American prisoners out, trying to do the same thing to them. And the governor eventually had to call the National Guard to get them to stop. It's alleged that people came from 5 states to do this. And I say that to say this: we don't have to imagine. This is an open book test. The answers are already here. We know.